And we are not live.
but we'll do it live.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm down for whatever. We can
All right.
do live, not live. That's the beauty of this thing right here. Pre-recorded to you, Christmas Eve edition, Showdown. This is from A to B, presented to you by Osmo.com. Just getting it out there, some quick thoughts. I think this will be a quick hitter. But first news off the top, I'm Andrew. And that's Ben, and he did a good thing yesterday. Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I gave it a run. Thought I had it. Thought I wasn't even going to be close because the Rams' defensive touchdown got overturned and it shouldn't have. Um, I still don't understand that. But then Antonio Brown surged me to the runner-up and didn't really threaten, to be honest, because Kamara. I don't know what the Saints. That's an overarching theme. We'll see as the playoffs get underway. But yeah, it was nice. Obviously, as well as I do the whole year can change based off one lucky team. And, that was awesome. It's been a rocky year, but you get a good one in the right tournament. And look at that. The whole year's turned around.
Absolutely. And that's what we shoot for. That is specifically for you and I think sort of the way we
Absolutely.
play, where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm just hoping to lose 10% on most slates, and then you hit the big one every once in a while. That's kind of the way you go about it. So you got there. Congrats, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. So now man, this one though, I'm feeling good, but my God, we've done some bad showdowns
Yeah,
over the year, some ugly Thursday games. I honestly, no hyperbole. I don't know if we've ever done one this bad.
I don't either. I'm looking at just trying to figure out who some of these people are, and I mean, the Denver wide receiver situation is the second most confusing wide receiver situation we have tonight. How
Yeah.
how often does that happen?
And in the league. It's absurd. Plus, we'll get right into it. So we got Broncos -3, over unders 42. It's supposed to be raining,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat windy on the baseball field in Oakland. Uh, so it's just a mess of epic proportions. I mean, honestly, just super macro. What were your first thoughts, when you looked at the pricing and looked at the game?
That I don't want to play. No,
Yeah,
just
you don't
kidding.
want to play. Okay. What were your second thoughts? Because if that could be the captain, if not wanting to do this would be the captain, be highly popular.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think the defenses are very live. I think the defenses might be 50% owned. Normally, I just, if I can, will jam in both the quarterbacks. I still think I'm willing to do that, but it doesn't feel as good as it usually does. So I don't know. What
I'm
about
not
you?
going to say that contrarian by any stretch, but on a slate like this, I do feel like people are way more inclined to go away from the quarterbacks. And I get that. But honestly, in a weird way, I'm almost more interested in just taking both quarterbacks than I normally am.
Yeah, you can afford them, and you see this often with like crappy quarterbacks. Like you and I both got that the Jaguars Titans game, which was similarly crappy. I played, I don't know, 90% Cody Kessler because he's a quarterback and he was cheap, and he was like 30% owned, which is a contrarian play on a showdown slate.
Yeah. I mean, I think today, obviously, one of the many questions we're going to get into is the answer, can you do this? Is glaringly yes, but the double running back, whether it's Martin and Richard or Lindsey and one of the backups, how prevalent is that going to be in our lineups? And what do we think just kind of about that situation?
Right. I'm gonna ask you about that because I think Lindsey is kind of the most interesting question. He's the most expensive player on the slate. I imagine he'll
Hmm.
be the most popular. He's only playing half the snaps. Like he's not
Yep.
out there. He's not an every down guy.
Uh, so yeah, because of those reasons, I think he'll be the number one captain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not that I like that, I think he's clear. He's a good player. There's no doubt. But they have two guys. It's not just one behind him. Royce Freeman and Booker both are making up basically, they combine for about half the snaps, and then Lindsey's taking the other half. That's for your bell cow popular captain. It's not exactly what you want as a running back. So if there's a guy that I naturally am like, you know what, I'll roll the dice against this. It's him. I actually feel more comfortable pairing up Martin and Richard just because you're gonna get. It's a little clearer on that side, even though they're far less talented in my book.
Yeah, I think Richard's my favorite play on the slate.
Mhm.
He's always kind of fine. He's pretty safe for his 10 points, but
He never scores. That's his problem.
Yeah, he's not going to get goal line work. So I don't know that the nuke upside is there, but he's cheap. I don't think he'll be crazy popular because people think of him as exclusively a third down back, and he kind of is. But whatever. In this game, if you're going to get 6, 7 targets, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I got
And,
he's projecting about 4 points shy of what Lindsay is, and I think he'll probably be half the ownership, and he's quite a bit less expensive. So
and at some point, I mean, not that you're going to bank on this, but when the guy literally is not finding the end zone, at some point, if he stays on the field, he will score here and there. That's just a given. So you always have that potential upside. Whereas, his floor is high, especially for a situation like this, just because he's getting those solid, he gets his targets each and every week. Um, Other than that, though, obviously you're going to have to play receiver roulette on both sides, if not, just one. I'm still, I'll jump right into it. I know Hamilton's getting the work. Patrick looks fine. I'm sticking with Sutton. I think he almost is another one where it's like, I don't think the ownership's going to be what it was had he had not been awful, burning people week after week. They see the targets with the other guys. I still will go back to Sutton. I think the upside is still there, even though it's been bad.
yeah, I think that's probably fair. They're getting about equal workload, the three of
Okay.
them, so it is definitely roulette a bit. I like a team. If you wanted to make like Keenum in the captain with all three of them, I think that's viable. Because then you're just hoping that they, put up a ton of numbers. And I think that that's certainly possible. That's a situation, overall as a strategy thing. I like to put the quarterback at captain if I'm using like three or more of their weapons,
Mm-hmm.
just because that by nature you're going to have them spread it around. I'm more likely to put a receiver in the captain spot when it's kind of like just them and and maybe the quarterback, but you're hoping that the quarterback throws for 300 yards and 150 of it is to the one guy. That's when you
Yeah.
put them in captain.
For me, like Sutton is a guy that I may look to for captain, just because again with the red zone, I still think that he has a chance to say Keenum has a bad game in the sense that he has 185 yards passing and a TD. I think Sutton's more than viable to take the overwhelming share there, where he becomes naturally the guy. But I think we both, like anyone playing this, you said it right off the top. These are two of the most random, bizarre receiving core, whether it's injuries, trades, the Raiders are just the Raiders. Tavis not walking through that door tonight, unfortunately.
Nope. Demarius Thomas not walking through that door for Denver. That's a
Nope.
bummer. Cool. I don't know. Seemed like
Yeah, no, I like him too. Matt Lacoste may be walking through that door. He's questionable right now. If he doesn't play, there's guys I've never heard of behind him. Brian Parker would be the next man up.
yeah. Hemingway.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. You don't really need to find a punt to that magnitude in this game. I don't think just because spending up for the mega studs there are no mega studs.
Yeah. Hemingway
Um,
did play a snap last week, so
he's on the upswing.
absolutely chart with the upward facing graph.
My God. All right. So just taking a look at this, what do you think about? This is another guy going to be popular. He should be by far the most consistent weapon the Raiders have. Jared Cook. What do you think about him?
I do like him, and it's funny you mentioned that. Speaking of tight ends, we joke about Lacoste and Hemingway and Parker or whatever.
Parker. Yeah, we do.
The nice thing about Showdown is you don't have to play a tight end if you don't want to, so it's not like you're forced to put one in. So I probably won't skip them altogether, but Cook would be the one I'm more interested in anyway. He is like sort of the premier receiving weapon on the Raiders. He should be popular. I'm with you, but man, he certainly can put up numbers, so I don't mind that at all.
No, he's right now the way I'm looking, obviously I'm going to have the real bad, ugly defense builds, running back, things like that. But if I do take a skill position player, Cook and Sutton for me, in terms of guys that I think could acquire enough target share to warrant maybe some captain consideration.
Yeah, I like Cook as captain. That's definitely something I'm interested in doing as well. So with you there. What do you make of the Broncos? The Oakland wide receiving core.
I, Yeah, I mean, we got Jordy. Jordy's consistently getting targets. He's the kind of guy for me. It just feels like if I play him, I might have a lot of him, might be overweight on the field, and I'll have zero in the captain spot. We've talked about that before with certain guys. I think he could acquire enough raw points to get you there, but more likely than not, he's not the guy you want. Or at least for me, he's not the captain for me.
He's not the captain now. No, I
No,
like him in with like him and Richard and Cook with Carr at the captain kind of
there
thing.
you go. Yeah, I think he could be viable, just not. I don't see many ways where it's the mega Jordy game. Other than that, you got who's this
Not
other
going to
guy?
happen in a couple of years.
Yeah, not likely. Yeah, God,
Seth Roberts, your boy
Marcel
Aitman.
Eatman. Yeah, I mean, you again. These are guys that, for me, I don't think there's any reason. So let me step back, and I think you'll agree with this. Most of the time, when you take a punt captain, you do that so you can jam in five guys that you couldn't normally do. On a slate like this, it doesn't really work like that. So I can tell you for certain, almost all of my captains will be towards the top of the salary range.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. Do you find,
Like,
yeah, occasionally, like there was the Patriots Steelers game last week where it's like, all right, I had some Chris Hogan captain. That was great, but it was because, there's a million guys that you want to play from that game. These guys are bad. So, yeah, I think it's like, your captains are Cook, the quarterbacks, maybe some Sutton, maybe a lead running back if you think it's going to go that way. And then I can
mhm.
see defenses.
Yeah, defenses because you're going to leave a ton of salary. You're doing that for a narrative, not because you're jamming in whatever. That's just I see no reason to look to those skill position guys outside of they're just the last man in on a team.
Right. You're hoping the defenses score 18 points and the quarterbacks are both like fine and score 15.
Yeah, no,
And advance
that's
the highest sort of next plays. So
as as if we always struggle with kickers. Um, this is a weird one because the game itself, it's like okay, I can see this being ugly. Kickers should get their shot. This field, I mean, we saw against the Steelers, like it's going to be nasty out there. It's a bad field to kick on in general. It's going to be raining. It could be windy. I, I'm more apt to just say, you know what, I'm just not going to use the kickers tonight, and I'll just roll the dice.
I think I'm there with you. And that's
Yeah.
honestly what I usually do. Like I build my sort of so I take a couple, usually I'll play and I do the showdown stuff by hand and usually I'll make 20 to 40 lineups and I'll kind of put them into different groups where I make, 5 to 10 of them each of like some particular story that I like and like have those
Hmm.
be the core of that scenario. And then I just spray, just randomly put different guys at captain, or like sometimes take a kicker and put it in there. Um, and that is the only way I ever get to kickers, and it's the only way I'm going to get to one tonight for sure. I may have a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be much.
Yeah, it's just tough. And if like anything, you are looking to segment and get away, at least try to eliminate a portion of it. And you know what? If I say, all right, if I don't play kickers tonight and they're not part of it, you're going to take out a big chunk of the field. And that's possible. Obviously, someone leads off with a 50-yarder, you're in huge trouble. But in this, if it really is raining and stuff, I'm saying in a field, I'll take my chances in a game like this and try to embrace some variance
Yeah, with you there. I think
because
that
I mean, there's such a lack of like okay, well you want these guys and then you can work around it. So it's like if I don't make a stand somewhere, I'm literally just going to have random teams and that's not good. You don't want to do that.
no, you don't, but certainly live to do something with that tonight. So see what happens.
Yeah.
What do you think the
Um
game's going to go overall? Do you like Denver more?
I do. They've dare I say they've been playing all right. The Raiders have been playing better too for what it's worth. They lost but the Broncos they lost a tough game against the Browns. Um I do think they win. I think the spread is pretty fair. They should be a slight favorite in my opinion. Um, these teams, would I be stunned if the Raiders won? No, but I do think the Broncos find a way to win. Total seems fair. I 24-20 20-ish. Like, yeah, that sounds about right in my book.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. I think yeah, I would guess Denver, 21-17 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
But like you said, Oakland has been okay. I mean, they lost in Cincinnati last week, but they just hung with Kansas City and beat Pittsburgh. Like,
they've also been better at home. Like, yeah, they were in Cincinnati, they looked awful, but at home they've been fighting
plus
a
they got
little
Nathan
more.
Peterman now. I
Well,
mean,
that's true. Quarterback room bump.
yeah, you got a little depth in your QB room. Good clipboard
They've
holder. John
sigh.
Elway was
Yeah.
there in the draft, right? Wasn't that the famous thing that he said that he thought that Nathan Peterman was the most complete quarterback in the draft that year, back when he still worked at ESPN?
Well, he's following through. I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, we've only seen a couple games of Nathan Peterman. It could just be,
He's due.
yeah, it's the low end of the spectrum.
What do you think his ownership will be tonight? Is he even on the thing?
Nathan Peterman. I mean, someone will take
Nah.
it, but it's going to be like 0.2% off.
Nah, he's gonna be 0%. He didn't make the. It's a shame. I would have liked to see the 60 people who played him.
Yeah, funny. I didn't
Uh,
actually end up scouting that one out. Didn't get through for my Nathan Peterman projection tonight.
it's a damn shame.
Yeah, because he's not available, so he will not be accruing fantasy points this week. Remember those the like alerts that DraftKings always does?
Yeah, no, get him out of here.
It's like
Any
up for an entire week about like some nobody. It's like,
Yeah, where it's like who was playing that guy, that third tight end? Um, yeah, the red alert. But
yep.
any final thoughts?
No, I think that'll do it for me, man. Good little show we got here. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, happy holidays to everyone. We just wanted to do something. We'll be back, after Christmas, obviously, everything will get back to normal. You can always find us in Slack if you have any questions on Showdown tonight or going forward. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you after Christmas.
Absolutely. Oh, and one last housekeeping thing. This is your actual final chance, because this is the only show that Osmo.com is running today, to get entered into the year supply situation. So the 24 days of giveaways. If you like this, comment something. We'll talk about that in a second. Josh, tomorrow morning on his NBA show, is going to announce the person who gets the win of the full year subscription to Osmo.com. What do we think they should? What do we think the comment should be?
Who wins the game, Raiders or Broncos? Just pick the winner. Simple enough. How's that?
I like it. All right.
All right.
I like that. Like talking to you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you. We'll be back. Friday or Thursday? We might do it. I think we'll do a three fellas, and definitely our main slate breakdown.
Absolutely.